We got some banger entries yesterday on some of those altcoins, and Bitcoin has now broken a short time frame trend. Are things turning a little bit more bullish again, guys? We got lots to talk about today. I've got one banger trade. I have given you a sneak peek before on this one, but it's a possible 600% on a 10x leverage, which I have started at the moment. So we got lots to talk about. I'm updating all those entries that hit yesterday. We're going to manage those trades. I'm going to show you how to play them. And of course, we're talking about POPCAT. Let's get right into this. And remember, as always, hit that like, hit the bell, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Then you get all those notifications and all these things. Like Bouncer has gone missing, so I've hired a new Like Bouncer for the next 20 minutes. There he is. And make sure you keep him pleased during the course of this session. Banter bubbles, guys. Look at this POPCAT again. POPCAT is my thing. That's my little kitten right there. And 18% up today. Again, just one of the outperformers, even outperforming GOAT at the moment, which got listed on Binance Perps now. So things are definitely going up. But who is anyone surprised here? Mew, another meme coin, ripping. Sol ripping, we know that. Pyth, Sol ecosystem ripping. That thing's about to break the 200-day MA. I'm talking about Pyth today. Is it time? And actually, I've got a Pyth guy here in the background. He'll be able to comment a little bit because we used to trade this thing quite a bit. So lots going on there. And guys, don't forget, if you're trading with any of the links in my description here, linked to this Win a Bitcoin. Look at that. It's BloFin, ByBit, BitGet. I think it's CoinW or one of those. Any of those links in my show description here, you can stand the chance of winning a Bitcoin using Banter Bubbles. You basically got to guess the price before January the 1st. If you get it right, you get half a BTC. And then if you are still trading in those exchanges, if you've taken 10 trades, they're going to give you an extra 0.5 BTC. So have a go, a bit of fun there, and try and guess the price of BTC at the end of the year. Oh, one more thing. Look at this. Radium still going 9%. It's all about Sol at the moment. And Tower as well at the bottom. Look at the 6% up. Hit a banger entry zone. And my apologies. I've given you this Tower chart a couple of times in the last 6 or 7 days with that entry. I forgot to give it to you guys today, but we're going to cover that one too. I definitely owe you a Tower situation. So let's go BTC. And this is us on the 4 hour. So we've had a nice move now off our hot zone. So yesterday we were really watching this dip, and we were saying we really want to see a big push into the 65,400 region. For me, it was anything from 65.5 down to 60K is where I was looking for longs on my Prime XBT. So now we are sitting in a BTC long. We've got a nice bounce off that typical reaction zone. Okay, guys, this is why I always say I love these fibs. These fibs run the show for me when they're tying in with horizontals, all these other things. Then we can start looking with confidence in those zones. So that's 65.5. That held for us now. Nice little rocket. And we can see on the 4 hour short-term trend break now, and we are pushing into a hot liquidity zone. So we are moving into what is actually quite a danger zone now on BTC. But the one thing that is turning in our favor, if you see at the bottom of my chart here, I'm using MDX Wavemaster. Look at this thing. We've printed our yellow dot here, and we are starting to turn a little bit more positive. Now, the last time we saw something like that, we had a great move here on BTC. Let's just see where that was. Look at that nice little push. The last time we had that Wavemaster start turning higher. So things are looking good on the 4 hour here from a BTC perspective. Now, what do we do now? Okay, well, number one, we are moving into a bit of a danger zone. So things could get interesting. What I'm expecting here at some point, and whether we go higher or not, at some point, we are going to get a little dip here on BTC. And I suspect that's going to start helping the altcoins a little bit. So right now, what you want to watch today, 66,900. That's a hot zone for me now. This is our previous support. Turned into resistance. It's now reclaimed as support again. So 66,900, that's a hot zone. That's also got a 236 bullish fib there for me as well. And then a little bit lower down, I've got 66,280. So these are both very bullish bounce zones for me if we do get some kind of Bitcoin pullback now over the next while. So this is what you need to watch into tomorrow for the next 24 hours. Let's see if that holds. And if that holds, I suspect these alts are just going to continue with their little altcoin party. So lots to look forward to, lots of fun that is coming up here. And Likes Bouncer, how's it going there in the back? How's your new role as Likes Bouncer?
Yeah, it's doing all right. I prefer giving charts, but you know, it's all good. It's all good. I'm looking. Someone's having a go at POPCAT. Look at that, man. POPCAT hates.
Paul, you got to get in Sniper Club, bro. I'm going to show you what I'm doing in Sniper Club with POPCAT and the ZoomX competition. You got to get in there. You got to get in there. Okay, let's see what's going on here. October, well, all is well, 6% up. We are happy, so no changes there. And October is cracking along. And I mean, this is basically me right now. This is all I've been thinking about. We got elections coming up, and you can see the man in the picture holding the bags. I mean, he's literally feels like he's totally responsible for our crypto bags at the moment, and we're really banking on a Trump victory if we like our bags getting pumped. Now, remember, it's not a political show. It's a bag pumping show. And right now, this looks like a bag pumper to me. So looking forward to potentially a Trump win from a bag pumping perspective. Okay, Tesla came out. Now, geez, we absolutely nailed that Tesla bounce call yesterday. And 𝗕𝗬𝗟𝗔𝗡 just dropping the results here. Their revenue, 25 billion. And so they missed their estimate. Then their earnings per share, 72, they beat. Gross margin, they beat. And free cash flow, they beat. Okay, so Tesla, absolute banger here at the moment. And then a quick note, they didn't sell any of their Bitcoin holdings. That is what everyone was speculating about. But if you followed the Lord of Entry, you would have known this already because I told you guys this yesterday. Okay, so follow me on Twitter at the Lord of Entry. I am dropping tons of stuff, including charts, including setups, including fundamentals and cool stuff like that. So make sure you guys are following me. And then look at this Tesla. Look at this thing. It's an absolute fucking rocket ship here. And what we were saying yesterday was quite interesting on Tesla. It was settling down on a potential bounce zone. Why was it a bounce zone? It was two trends. We had our 618, we had the 100-day MA, and we had horizontals in this region. And I had my MDX Wavemaster, which funnily enough works on stocks as well, starting to turn up on the daily. Okay, that was looking, to me, it's starting to smell like a bounce. Okay, so now we kind of had a feeling that we were going to get some good results there from Tesla based on how the chart was teeing us up. So now we've far exceeded expectations. I was looking for a little gap fill there on Tesla and then a little rejection. So interesting to see how this is going to play out because we know we've got a double top here in play at the moment. And when I spoke about the weekly on Tesla yesterday, I showed you guys that things were actually looking a little bit bearish from that front. And we had the double top on the weekly, and we also had our Wavemaster starting to bend over here as well on the weekly. So how do we invalidate this for Tesla? Well, it's very simple. We need to start reclaiming these highs here. So the minute we start breaking these types of levels here, then we're going to say, okay, Tesla is on. And then we're going to have tons new targets for you guys. So lots to look forward to there on Tesla. But geez, if any of you were trading this Tesla and you were brave enough to jump in, congrats on the 19% pump. Now, fuck me. That's better than AVAX. Okay, that's better than Celestia some of these days and some of these other shit coins. So it's quite incredible that these stocks can do these types of things. And it's all about the timing. Now, I was expecting the S&P to respond a little bit better to this massive Tesla pump, considering the size of that business. But you can see right now, the S&P still a little bit bearish today, so not a great look. And you can see my Wavemaster, my MDX Wavemaster also on the daily, starting to get tired here, starting to turn over a little bit. So something to keep our eye on. Now, I'm still sitting in that Prime XBT long and looking for higher, but we are watching now the support that I want to watch, 5,760. We want to see if we get another bounce off that region. And then I'm still targeting the 6K zone. Now, it could take a while to get there. We could easily see another flush before they send us higher. There are a lot of scenarios here that can play out, but I think overall things are generally pretty bullish there, and especially from the macro front. So things are looking good. And let's see, AV says, if I make another 100 on POPCAT, I'll buy Sniper Club. Guys, you must come to Sniper Club and trade POPCAT with me. Okay, I'm going to give you my strategy again today, and hopefully it's going to play out for us. I'm going to tell you exactly how to trade this thing. I think I've cracked the POPCAT code at the moment. So a little bit more news here. Denmark to implement world's first crypto unrealized gains tax. I mean, this is disgusting. What are these guys thinking? Have they not seen my Memecoin wallet? I mean, do these guys not know how this shit works? I mean, they want to basically tax you whether you've sold your crypto or not. They want you to pay tax on it. I mean, it's fucking unreal. And they're going to cause people to start selling certain tokens and things when it comes to tax season and stuff like that. So you could get these like proper like cluster fucks or whatever you want to call it, where everyone has to sell for tax season. I see Chaos agrees. He thinks it's a similar situation. I don't know. I don't know if I like this, bro. I don't know. Rough.
Disgusting.
It's a rough one. It's a rough one. It's not fair. I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair. Okay, and then this thing. Okay, guys, who got this little meme coin Popo yesterday? Now, my secret investigators actually found this on CoinMarketCap on the 15th of October. Look at this. They've uncovered this other little tweet. And basically back then, nobody would have known what this thing was. Okay. And they said, POV, you bought in for the vibes, but it turns out to be a moon bag. Now, why are there all these clues all over the internet? Well, anyway, here's Popo. Okay. Congrats on the almost 2x from when we spoke about it yesterday. It was somewhere there. I mean, 170%, this little banger. And remember what I said, guys, if this thing goes up, make sure you take some of your capital out, because this thing can also go to zero. So remember the rule. If you're up in these meme coins, make sure you are taking something out. But an absolute little banger there. Popo, and look, obviously something going on. Maybe it's the same intern that's running Coin Market Cap or Wobi or whatever that exchange was, but something to watch. Okay. And James says PopCat is his bitch. James, no, PopCat is my bitch. Okay, PopCat is mine. I'm owning that. Sniper Paul owns Whiff. Okay, I own PopCat. Okay, you can own it with me. We can co-own this thing. Bogdan, don't talk to me about Rune. I got chopped up in the WSOT trading Rune, and oh no, bro, this is terrible. If that thing is pumping, I'm going to be bleak. Okay, here is my current Prime XPT situation. So I've been adding throughout the day on this trade. So I got it in my hot zone there yesterday. When I left the office, I said to you guys, I'm looking for longs in that zone, and I jumped in there on Prime XPT. So I've got a nice little entry there, and it didn't hit my last little buy limit. I had a buy limit order at 65,075. I was really hoping to pick the absolute bottom of that, but missed it with my full buy. So I had to start adding now throughout the day, and this is me on Prime XPT. So my current situation is I'm 0.7 BTC long, and my stop is now 66,240. So we pretty much at break even if this thing wants to fall over, and we're gonna see how this plays. If we start ripping through that 68k liquidity zone, things are gonna get fun. They're gonna get really fun for us. Now remember, guys, Prime XPT, you can trade the S&P as well. You know I'm doing that, and there is a link in the description if you want a little bit of that action. Okay, let's go BTC on the daily, and this is the only concerning thing for me at the moment. Now, it's not long-term concerning, it's short-term bearish concerning, and I'm going to explain it again. And quite often when we see a big rejection on these tokens or whatever it might be, Bitcoin, ETH, whatever you're looking at, when you see that rejection, often your first bounce is the start of your downtrend. So we hit our 3-day hot zone. That was our 65,400 zone that we were looking at, and you can see why this made sense. Nice horizontals, nice bullish 236 fib. But often when we hit those types of zones, that is the start of your downtrend. And then you typically get something like that until the party starts again. Okay, so it could turn at any point in time, but this is now what we are faced with at the moment. So until we start breaking our 69,400 highs, those types of levels, when we start clearing that aggressively, we need to remain a little bit bearish on Bitcoin, even if it's short term. For that matter, just something to watch. Now, dominance is going to play a part in these altcoins. If Bitcoin starts ranging down here, we're going to have an alts party. Things are going to go insane and they are going to blow up. So, best case situation for us, ideally, for altcoin traders is we just get some kind of consolidation here for BTC, even for a short period of time. That will unlock altcoins, and then we're going to have tons of fun. So something to look forward to here. But remember, on the 3-day, short-term, potentially bear play now for the next couple of weeks, okay? Next week or two. Let's see. If we start blowing the highs, then we're cooking, then we are good. Now, altcoins, anyone who was sweating on altcoins yesterday, remember how we were sweating? It's amazing how sentiment can change in a couple of hours. We were sweating bullets yesterday. Do you remember? We were sweating bullets. The market was falling over, okay? And we look at our altcoins again on the weekly and all as well. So we've held our support. We held our 50-day moving average. Look at this thing. It works even on things like total on the others chart. Now remember, the others chart is the entire crypto market excluding the top 10. And look at this thing. 200 billion has held for us again as support. Imagine what happens when we blow that 200-day MA. Imagine what it's going to look like when that starts to happen. So AV Creation's telling us stocks are shitting the bed. Well, that's not a good look at the moment, is it? Let's just revisit this. Yeah, not a good look. Okay, not a good look at the moment. And BTC, you must stay. You must behave up there. Okay, let's talk dominance. This is going to be another critical one for us. And we are moving into a dominance rejection zone. Okay, 59.1% is our next one that we're going to be watching. And when we do get that rejection, hopefully that's going to be with a stable or ranging BTC or even a pumping BTC, anything like that. If we get that rejection, then our altcoins really start ripping. If you think Sol is ripping now, imagine what's going to happen. ETH might move up even 0.5% or something if we get that rejection. I mean, that's the biggest shitcoin in history. I mean, chaos. I can't deal with this ETH. I don't know where Ray is, but I needed Ray to hug me today. And I want to show you. I want to show you this ETH. I got to show you this thing. But just a reminder, yesterday, the ETH Foundation sold 100 ETH 20 minutes ago. Or this was yesterday. So in a very short space of time, they dumped 100 ETH, and they absolutely wrecked the ETH chart. I mean, I'm so done. I'm so done with it.
Again. It happened again. Yeah.
Again. Okay. And so for what it's worth, I'm still in my ETH position. You can see we had that wick below our zone. We didn't get our candle close under that region. Okay, so you can see why I often emphasize candle closes and things like that, because they often come for these hunts, or they drop you and then they bounce it straight back up. So 2,487, that is the level we're watching, and then the lows 2,445. Let's see if we can hold that trend. Maybe there is one last drip of hope, but I mean, fuck me, if you look at the way Sol's performing, POPCAT, all these other things, why are we even wasting our time with ETH? Okay, and I don't know why do I keep trading this? Chaos, please make me stop.
Because it's going to have its day, right? It's going to have its day, and the second that you sell, everybody else is going to make money. So thank you for your contribution, right?
Yes, exactly. Okay, so let's crack on. I want to bring Chaos back just now. I know he's a bit shy today. He's managing the likes for us, but I'm bringing him back on for Pyth, because I know he's a Pyth expert, and we're going to bring him back on just now. So, okay, let's look at a couple of trades. Here's the current situation. Okay, this is not my WSOT account. There's another account, and you can see I'm sitting in Beam, I'm sitting in Tower, I'm sitting in Whiff, I'm sitting in Injective at the moment. A lot of these were from yesterday, and there's Pendle. I'm sweating bullets on Pendle. I'm going to show you that exact situation. I went in a little bit too aggressive. I got that entry for quite a small position earlier, and then I aped in way too hard, and now I'm sweating a little bit there on Pendle. And you can see Sol, the star of the show. Look at this thing. It's absolutely ripping still. It's $24,000 up. And now it's starting to reverse. Look at this. Are they going to send us? Are they going to send us straight back to zero? Okay, we're going to have to wait and see. I'm going to give you all these levels that you are going to need. Okay, so let's talk Sol. And Sol edging closer to flipping ETH for mindshare. That makes total sense to me. And it's 59 versus 44% in the past 30 days. So it's coming. Okay, it's coming. The interest is coming. And Solana fees back to March levels, up by 218% in 30 days. And it's showing in the chart, as you can see. Here we go. So here is Sol on the daily, and we are at our first resistance zone. Now, this is a 786 fib. We know the 786 dominates when you are dropping into it, and sometimes it causes problems when you are running into it as well, when you are running up into it. And we are looking at the zone as 176. So you can see we are struggling at the 786 fib. This is a danger zone for us. Now, what do we do on this time frame on the daily? If things start reversing, we remain totally patient here. We've got a big level here, 160. Big level here for me, 160, 159, a little bit lower down, 150. Now, I'm going to readjust my limit orders. Remember, I'm trying to grow the Sol position, and I want to be smart about it here. I don't want to buy on pumps. I want to buy on big dips. So if we get a dip down into 160, I'm going to start buying a little bit more Sol there. If we get a dip into 150, it's not going to be nice. The market's going to be wrecked. But I'm going to add a little bit there at Sol at 150. So my current average entry is 132, give or take. I don't want to wreck that average entry too badly. So if I start adding, I'm just going to bring it up gradually so that average entry can still remain above some key levels here. And looking for bigger things on Sol. We want to see how high we can take this thing. And if we can send this thing to Valhalla and maybe get more than a little handbag out of this one. So letting that play on. And then short-term degen traders, if you're looking for scalp plays, you're looking for Sol entries, you're looking for degen things along those lines, here are some levels for you. You can work with these in the next 24 hours leading into tomorrow's show. We should get some kind of reaction on some of these. So your first one you're watching, 170. That's a big one for me. So any moves into 170, that could be interesting there. You could get some kind of reaction. Any move into 167. Also a nice little hot zone. And look at this. I got a little anchored VWAP just pushing up a little bit here. So call it 167 to 165 for Sol. That looks like a nice little zone there. And then we remain bullish. As long as we are holding this rising trend, then we are good. When we start losing our trend, then we start sweating a little bit. And we deal with that then. Okay, we deal with it when we get there. But right now, bull trend is up. Sol's strength. Sol's looking good. The meme coins are picking up. The degens are back. And that always translates back into Sol. So you've got some levels here you can play with. If you're looking for entries or you're looking for support levels, 170 and 167 to 165. Those are your sort of safety nets. When you start closing under there, a little bit rough, okay? Starts getting a little bit dirty and things like that. Now, I've got a couple of trades for you guys. Okay, and I'm revisiting BONK right now for you. We're looking at POPCAT, we're looking at WIF, we're revisiting a lot of these entries from yesterday, and we're going to try and manage some of these positions. We're going to look where we can exit some of them. We're going to look where we can maybe send a couple. So the first one I've got for you is BONK and the spot bag play. Now remember, I like to give you guys two types of setups. I like to give you the higher time frame view for the patient traders, the spot traders. Then I like to dial in and give you the degen plays. Now you will remember not too long ago, we were looking at BONK, putting pressure on the 200-day moving average. This thing was looking like it wanted to cook. And what happened? It absolutely popped. But then they came back and they ended us. They ended all the degens. Okay, all the hopes and dreams got sent to zero. And what did this thing hold? It held our 618. It held our 100-day MA. It held our trend. And typical spot trader fashion, if you were trading spot on BONK, you were so relaxed. Okay, you are back to your entry. Everything is cool. And BONK is now looking good. So BONK is now looking at the 200-day moving average. We've got pressure here at the moment. So what you want to see one more time. Now, degens, I don't have a degen BONK setup for today, but I've got degen plays on similar tokens at the 200-day MA. So what you need to do is basically copy this exact style of what we're looking for, and then you're going to play it accordingly. So BONK, you are really just looking for this hard break one more time of that 200-day MA. I suspect when we break that one again, that could be the move that holds for us. So just be patient on BONK degens, multiple zeros, 2305. You want to pop that zone. When you start breaking that, you can start getting a little bit interested in how things can play. And you can also dial in on your degen setups. Now I'm going to show you a couple of those in a couple of minutes, but I first want to deal with the 𝗬𝗎𝒻 competition, and I want to deal with this POPCAT. So guys, remember, 𝗬𝗎𝒻 comp, we have had one or two issues with the link. Okay, I can assure you this link is now working. Please go into the show description, sign up to the 𝗬𝗎𝒻 comp. It is exclusive to my show. Okay, so it's a Lord of Entry competition. There's cash prizes for the top 10. You're going to win money. Okay, it's a P&L contest, and you only need $150 in your futures account. So this is our current situation, and you can see I'm coming number one, and all I've done is take one POPCAT trade, okay? One POPCAT trade that I gave in Sniper Club, and I've even named my account. POPCAT is a good kitty, okay? Because I'm owning this POPCAT at the moment, and you can follow me there on 𝗬𝗎𝒻 now. You can watch and see how it's going. POPCAT is a good kitty, and I'm only going to trade POPCAT for this competition. Sniper Paul did it so well trading with, and I thought, let's go with POPCAT, and we're just going to focus on this at the moment. We're going to focus on it until it fails. Okay, so join me in the 𝗬𝗎𝒻 comp, and before we jump into this POPCAT chart, I actually want to show you exactly what we are doing in the Sniper Club, so you guys can actually understand what is going on here. Let me show you some of this stuff. Okay, here's the Sniper Club. Oh, and Uncle's arrived as well. Good timing. We're talking, yeah, we bull market vibes. We're good. We're good.
Competition there, bro.
I think I'm like 30th. 35th.
Okay.
Say hello.
Not bad. Not bad. Well done, Dylan. Well done, bro. Well done that you're 30th, bro.
I'm coming first in the 𝗬𝗎𝒻 comp, though. Just trading POPCAT.
Oh, okay. Are you just trading POPCAT?
Yeah. Just a banger. POPCAT's a good kitty.
Bro, do you know where I am in the competition?
Where?
Fourth.
I'm
I'm fourth.
This guy.
I'm fourth, bro.
This guy.
I'm the silent guy. You know, I'm not the trader that jumps in and out.
Put your name on there. I got so chopped up. I was at one point, I was like 7th or 8th.
You got chopped up. Sheldon chopped up 44 accounts already. Every day you see that going to 400 and 0, 400, 0, 400, 0.
Guys, it's messy.
I've had one account.
Congratulations.
Just one account, sir. Just one account.
Guys, follow Run. He's obviously he's a top trader. He likes to pretend he's not the best trader. He's a good trader. He's a very good trader. He's not a DJ like me, though. He's not going to trade POPCAT like me. Okay, here is Sniper Club. I wanted to show you guys. And guys, can we just have a moment of silence? Let's just clap him in. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
What's up, champions?
Where have you been hiding? Where have you been hiding, bro? We needed you.
I know. I'm here now. I'm here. Let's keep going.
Chaos. I got chaos. Okay, here we go. So Here is what's happening in Sniper Club. This is the ZoomX channel that I've opened for this ZoomX competition. And I just want to take you guys through what I'm doing in there, okay? So you can grab the link there in Sniper Club. I'm dropping setups. Yeah, I gave a full explanation yesterday as to how I was trading POPCAT. I gave a couple of other setups. There was that Pendle setup we spoke about. Here was the WIF setup we spoke about. Then today we covered POPCAT again. And things are cooking in there. I gave my exact entry levels on ZoomX. I showed my limit orders where I was buying today, all these types of things. And I'm really trying to make this a vibe in there for you guys. So come and join me in Sniper Club, and let's get the ZoomX thing cracking along. Now, I'm going to show you this POPCAT. Let's get this window back. Where's my POPCAT? There it is. Okay, here it comes. Okay, so let's go. So we know POPCAT on the higher time frame, absolute banger. Okay, we can see what's going on now. We are on price discovery in POPCAT. This thing is ripping. Now we pinged 1.67 earlier today, looking super bullish. And then when we zoom in, we can see what is going on. So this is a typical DGen setup that I've done now on POPCAT. And my new strategy on POPCAT is we're trying to be smart about this. So number one, you have to have a bias. If your bias is bullish, then you can say, okay, I've got a bullish bias now. How am I going to play this thing? Because it's so volatile, because it's so dangerous, it's hard to try and ape in on one entry on 20x leverage and get this thing ripping. So my new strategy is to start DCAing, almost like a martingale trading strategy here on POPCAT, with the assumption that this thing remains bullish. So what I did yesterday, as you guys saw, I laddered in on certain key levels. Then I closed my position earlier today, not quite the top. It was probably almost at the top. Took that profit. That got me to the top of the competition. Then I said to the guys, again in Sniper Club, I'm going to have another go at this thing, and this is my strategy. So what I did was I highlighted a couple of levels. The first one was 1.59. The next one was our 382 fib for the buy. And then the last one with the biggest buy is going to be 1.46. So my strategy here was to pick up any dips into these zones, start building a position on like 8x leverage, 9x leverage, those types of things. And with an invalidation or exit plan if we start losing this trend, sort of under this 1.4 type of zone. So it was just a strategy, small little entry, start building that position as we hit those areas, and then obviously relying on this thing to turn bullish and start ripping again. So it worked really well yesterday. I suspect it will work one or two more times, and then it's going to go against us at some point. So that is the strategy I'm employing now in this current situation. I just wanted to highlight again a typical bounce zone here on POPCAT, and we hit our 382 fib at 1.547, and then we hit our anchored VWAP. Look at that perfect reaction on this anchored VWAP, little banger there on POPCAT. So right now our support on POPCAT is 1.545, but I'm not doing anything to this position. I'm leaving it now. I've got my limit order set here at 1.46. Let's see if we get a market meltdown, looking for the buy there. That will be a bigger buy order on this position. And then there, 1.47. And then we are looking to send this thing higher. So currently, I've built a $2,700 position. It started small. It started at $1,000. And I've got that one more entry there to buy another 1,360 POPCATs at 1.47. So hoping that is going to work. That'll be a nice size position. And then if the market does turn bullish after that ping, then we're going to get a nice big push. Matt says invalidated sounds way better. I use that with the one. It just sounds, doesn't it sound so smart? It sounds so smart. Oh, it's totally invalidated that trade. No, I totally fucked it up and I lost money. That's actually what happened here. But we invalidated it. Okay, let's go. Now, we're talking Sol. We know Sol ecosystem's ripping. We've done Radium. We've done Dupe. We can see the story with there. And Kyron is just pointing out, look at this, Render and Pipe. When anyone thinks of Sol, they think about memes, but talk about other tokens. Render, did you forget? I forgot for a second there. Render moved on to Sol. Okay, the GPU powerhouse. We know the deal was Render. It's been super quiet lately, a little bit disappointing, but nice that Render's getting a little bit of airtime again. And then the Oracle Revolution. Now, you can read this guy's thread here that he's written for you guys, but let's not sleep on Pyth. We know Pyth is basically the link for Solana, if I'm not mistaken. And here's a Pyth expert over there, or he used to be.
Yeah.
And give me an elevator pitch on Pyth, please, sir.
It was reasonably going to be good, and then what happened is they never actually stuck to the original road plan, and now they've gone and geo-locked everybody that's pretty much not in certain designated zones out of it. So the USA, the UK, most of Europe no longer can use this.
You can't use it.
No, you get a big red message saying withdraw your Pyth. It's rubbish.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Okay, well, he's just sent it to shitcoinery. I was just about to give you guys a setup. So, okay.
I've got a setup for you.
Don't send us to zero, bro. Don't send us to zero. I've got a setup here. Okay, so Pyth, just reminding everybody now, at one point, Pyth was a massive staking narrative token. That is why it was pumping in the beginning. Remember Injective at the start of the year, ripping. Then we had this whole, what was it? A staking narrative, people getting airdrops. It was
Celestia, Atom, Pyth, all of these different things, for sure. This one seems to have fallen off the wagon.
Yeah, but I mean, here they're still alive. Okay, they 225 million Pyth staked. Okay, there's something going on here, but maybe it could be the Celestia of Solana. It could be the dog shit of Solana. But I want to point this out to you guys and use this information as you will. Okay, so here's Pyth. It's been dog shit for a while. You can see we've had some extreme highs, and we did really well on this Pyth at one point. We had some good pumpage. And this thing has now fallen over. The staking narrative died out. I mean, I've still got bags of Pyth staked somewhere in a wallet. I mean, fuck. But okay, what I want to show you guys, potentially bullish scenario brewing on Pyth. So we're not bullish yet. We are at big horizontal resistance. We are at trend resistance. Okay, not great, but we are on 50-day MA. We are on 100-day support. And you can see we're slowly developing these squeezy little setups that I like to look at. So Pyth is now on my radar. Okay, I've fired off a very small Bitfunded play on Pyth. Now remember, Bitfunded is you using other people's money. Okay, so I'm having a little pre-go on Pyth. This is how I've done it. And I mean, look, it's a very high risk. That's also why I've done this one on Bitfunded, because it's actually going to cost me nothing. And we're going to see if we can get some kind of move. So this is Pyth on the 4 hour. And what I've popped out here, remember that what we want to do is we want to try and catch a breakout into our next trade zone. So if we zoom out, we can see we are at resistance. We are at a rejection zone. We are at a typical area where price could reject and they could send us to hell. But if we do clear certain levels, there's a 35% a year on Pyth. So if we can blow this horizontal, blow that 200-day MA, then things start looking a little bit more spicy on Pyth, and we're looking at about a 35% for the next TP. So how do we get there? So looking for some kind of breakout. Now, right now, if you are trying to enter this thing, and especially on high leverage, this is your risk. Okay, your risk is a dump of about 12%. Okay, that is your maximum risk that you're looking at. So it is a super risky play here. And I've jumped in a little position here on Bitfunded, and I've actually just banged my stop so tight here. It's around about this level, 0.36 in that area, because I saw earlier this thing started pushing higher, and I thought, let me see if I can catch this ride up. Now, obviously, the market's gone a little bit flatter here at the moment, so we're waiting to see. So the real trade is going to be when we pop this area aggressively, just like that, nice little pop. Then we're going to use this whole zone as our support, and then we are looking for a 35% move on Pyth. So just keep this one on your radar. In fact, I'm going to set my alarm here, because that's going to tell me if we start breaking these highs. So I've just set my alarm on TradingView. If we start pushing through that area, it's going to ping me, and then we can get in front of our trading exchange. So here's the situation, and I'm sitting in this Pyth position on Bitfunded, and you can see Injective. Only one of my orders pinged yesterday. Remember, yesterday I gave you 2 entries for Injective when we were dumping into that zone, and one of them pinged, the 19.65. So just letting that one play out at the moment. Remember, Bitfunded, you're trading with other people's money, and you send them $7,900. They give you a demo account. You make 8% to pass phase 1. You make 5% to pass phase 2. And then they give you a funded account. You keep 80 to 90% of the profit. So very simple game plan here. And I'm just testing these guys now on Bitfunded. So there's a link in the description there if you want to have a crack at that one. Now, we've covered Pyth. Now let's talk Render. This thing's been absolutely dead. And I see Bruce is in the chat saying that he's going to beat POPCAT trading Render. Now, Bruce, tell me, are you trading this? And he says no more premature liquidations. Come on, bro. I love that. So Bruce thinks he's trading Render. Okay, so Render, here's the rundown. This thing has been dead. This thing has been super boring. It's been choppy. And, if you've been trying to trade short-term moves here, you've just been chopped out. But what is interesting here is it looks like we've got some kind of double bottom here, finally, on Render. Now we're going to rely on Bitcoin to stay bullish, but this 4.94, okay, that is your bottom. That is your support that you're watching now. And just I want to highlight here for you guys, war zone in front of you, major resistance, anything from 5.47 down to 5.3. That's going to be quite a tough nut to crack. But when you blow this region, this is going to make dream support. Okay, it's going to be incredible support that you're going to be able to use if we do start breaking through that zone. So there is a play coming on render. So if you missed that little dump yesterday, if you missed that entry, your risk now to these lows is about 4%. So it's not ideal. So your next play for me most likely is going to be this break of these zones. Then you want to take that trade and you're looking at a 30% move on render. Now, if you're using 5x, 10x leverage, it gets a bit spicy. It's actually a nice little trade on the cards there, and I hope it goes well there for Bruce. And Ray, what's happening, bro? Come back.
Just checking out this leverage. That's all. I'm here.
I must say, everybody missed you, bro. Everybody missed you.
They did.
I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. It brings tears to my eyes.
Good.
Maybe the rainbow.
We can't
He's
see
emotional. Yeah,
No, we can't see
we can't see your eyes and we can't see the rainbow. Okay, more alpha coming. Let's go. Let's get rid of all the likes bounces. We're going to give you guys alpha. We're going to deliver. Okay, Injective. We hit that zone. I mean, this was an absolute banger. I really sincerely hope some of you guys picked up this Injective, and what a banger. I mean, this was just another lesson in being patient, another lesson in reading the market. Okay, we could see Bitcoin was falling over and these alts hadn't hit hot zones. I'm talking Pendle, I'm talking Phantom, I'm talking Injective. There was a couple of others. They were just not hitting their areas, and there was a sign telling us that we were going to get one more wick down. And I mean, this Injective was absolute perfection. Guys, let me know in the chats, please, who actually got some of these entries yesterday. I saw a couple of guys got Phantom. Hopefully some of you got Injective. We did Whiff as well. What a banger. And there were a couple of others. So let me know if you guys got them. It's important to me to know that you're getting it. Okay, really. I need to know if you guys got these things. Okay, so Injective, we hit that zone. Now, what have I done today? So I'm trying to manage this trade at the moment, and I can see what I've got here. We got our bounce from that wick low to the highs. We're taking our fibs, and then we start looking at reaction zones here on Injective. So we can see now we pinged our 618. We closed above the 618, 19.9, and that is now going to be our support. If we start losing that type of level on the short term, then we most likely revisiting this 19.6. So it depends how big your leverage is. It depends how you are playing this current trade. But for me, if you got this trade and you got a good entry here, maybe it's, get your stop at entry. If you can't watch the position, you can always come back later and look for another entry. You want to be kind of de-risked as quickly as possible now, because you can see this thing is now looking a little bit sad, and we've got a problem here at that anchored VWAP. So we're going to need Bitcoin to really start kicking up for us to get a little bit more bullish now on Injective. Now, how does this thing work? You can see we've got TP1, so we've hit our TP1 zone on Injective. That's normally a sign for you to take something off the table or raise your stops, de-risk a little bit from the trade. And then option 2 is when we blow that area, TP1 always makes great support for our next push up. So we're just going to wait patiently now. When we blow through TP1, then we're going to use that area for our next entry, which is most likely going to be a breakout type trade that we're going to be looking for. And then that is going to take us to 21.5. So right now, nothing to do just yet. Let this thing play out a little bit more. Let it unfold. Safety with your stops. If it breaks higher, then we can start adding to positions. We can then start looking for new trades for those of you that didn't get this one. So just be a little bit patient on Injective. And then I've got a banger. Okay, well, I think it's a banger. And I see Ed's here in the house. He says Bitcoin's rejected off the weekly pivot. Yes, and a hot liquidity zone and a 618. It's a danger zone here for us. It's all about where we're going to hold now on these pullbacks. So Beam is something I'm super interested in, and I took a little sneaky long on this one earlier today. You saw on this ByBit situation. Where am I there? You can see Beam. It's now flat. So at one point it was $450 up. It's now flat. I'm going to show you this Beam position. I'm going to tell you how I'm managing this one at the moment. So Beam is looking like bonk. We've got pressure on the 200-day moving average, and it looks like it wants to get hungry. Now, this is a gaming play, and I mean, I've got spot bags of this thing, looking for a leverage play now. Really want to send this thing higher, and the first thing that's appealing to me, as you can see, I've got easy algo here at the moment, and we are above the monthly pivot, and we are above the weekly pivot. So that's a good start for me. We are also above the 50-day MA and the 100-day MA. So there's something interesting here for Beam. So if you're a spot trader, like we discussed with Bonk earlier today, your risk levels that you guys can watch, that you can pay attention to, all the way down, okay, to 0.0165. Okay, that is your safety net. That's about 12%, give or take, from where we are now. And that would be the center of the monthly pivot, tied in with horizontals, the bottom of the weekly pivot. Okay, so that for me potential buy zones all the way down. If we get a pullback here, you can just ladder into your position on any weakness all the way down into that type of zone with the view that we stay bullish, with the view that we are then going to hold these pivots and we are going to start pushing up a little bit higher. So that is what I'm watching now for Beam. Then I went DGen today. Okay, I got a little bit sneaky. And what I did here is I pulled out Beam on the 1 hour, and the first thing I wanted to see was where my daily pivot was. Remember, we had quite a nice trade on Dupe using the daily pivot, and I thought if this stuff can tie in with my regular TA, then we can use it as support. So we've ticked our boxes. We're above the monthly, we're above the weekly, and the daily opened up above these regions as well. And now for me, the support I'm using on Beam is the 0.0186. That's the bottom of the daily pivot. It's the 618. It's the horizontal. So this is for the DGens out there. So this is for the leverage guys looking for an entry. Any dips into this type of region here, you're looking for a buy. You've got very tight risk. Your risk is going to be between 1 and 2%, give or take. Look at that, 1.5%. If you get it in the middle of the box, that is your risk, 1.5%. You're looking for a bounce in that type of region. You can see here's our 200-day MA. So if we do get that bounce, we want to see a hard push to that 200-day MA, and then we're going to start really enjoying this ride on Beam. So there's a possible entry coming here for you guys if there is a further dip, 0.0188 down to 0.01865. Anywhere in those boxes for you, that looks like a DGen entry play. If you are more inclined to trade spot, you zoom out, you say, okay, cool. Anything down to 0.0167, that type of region, that's where you want to start accumulating. That's where you want to start buying. And then upside moves, we've got a couple. We've got about a 60% here on a 10x. Okay, you can see I started a 10x. If this thing starts running, okay, we're talking 600% here that could potentially play out. It's going to start looking like the soul position. I mean, the soul position's taken time, but now it's starting to really work for us. And that is what we're going for. We're looking for one or two of these guard mode entries. Now, sometimes you got to test them once or twice. Sometimes you're going to hit a couple of stops, but if you nail it, then that thing is on its bike and off it goes. Oliver, yes, sir. It is a 600% trade, 60% move on 10x. Very simple game plan here. If you get that entry, you dial in that entry and you get it right, it's going to be more than 600% because as it goes higher, you're going to add to that position. You're going to start building it. That sold position I showed you, I started on about $10,000, $15,000. It's now a $90,000 position, including the profit. So you can grow these things as they start moving higher. But the secret here is trying to find that DGen entry that takes you into the next zone. Once you know you're into the next zone, then you're in the game. Then you are moving. So that is how I played Sol. And that is what we're looking at some of these other tokens. So just play it safe. Watch these levels. You've got these zones. If this one fails, we'll relook at it tomorrow or the next day, and we'll try and find a new entry there on Beam. Now, let's take a look at Pendle. This was an absolute banger as well yesterday. Now, this thing front ran my entry zone that I gave you guys by a couple of cents. So I ended up chasing a little bit this morning. I got that one a little bit lower down. Then I aped in, and I aped in a little bit too hard. And because I thought Pendle was really going to go for the big push. So I overextended my trade there. And now I'm probably going to get punished for it. So what I'm watching personally for support, you can see here, I've got horizontals tied in. I've got a 618 on Pendle, and I've got the daily pivot. So this for me right now is a potential entry here. This is a potential bounce zone for you guys. This is a tight daily pivot. We are retesting this now. We want to see this hold. It ties in with horizontals. It ties in with a 618. This is probably your lowest risk DGen play right now. So if this thing's going to fail, your invalidation, remember that keyword, is going to be about 1.3%. Okay, so what you're looking at here, option one, let me just clean this a little bit for you guys. Okay, what you're looking at here is some kind of bounce in this region. We're looking for a reaction here, and then we want to see that send a little bit higher. So the tightest stop, if you're using just the daily pivot, it's going to be 1 to 1.5% risk that you can look at. Then we know we've got a 786. That normally provides us some kind of reaction as well. You saw that on Injective, obviously on a bigger time scale, but 4.63 is the next one you are going to be watching. So watch these two hot zones. We are moving into them now, and obviously, eyes on BTC as always. And remember, these charts that you're seeing here, they get dropped into Sniper Club. If you're a Sniper Club member, you get these charts immediately after the show. They're going to be there for you guys. Then you can look back at them later on, rewatch the show, do what you need to do. Just make sure you have the context as to what I'm talking about with these charts. Okay, so Pendle, we're looking to reload here for me, add to this position. If we start losing that 786, yeah, I'm probably going to start trimming this thing. It's not, I actually just totally fucked this one up. up. Basically, I started, my position was 7,500, and then I aped in like 15 or 20,000 a little bit later and bumped my average entry up way too high. So that's the punishment for being too aggressive. Okay, that's the punishment as a trader. And again, we never stop learning as we go. Here's 𝗕𝗬𝗟𝗡. Now, absolute banger, and I forgot to talk to you guys about this. Can I say I invalidated my car when wrapping around a tree? Correct. Correct, you invalidated your car. So this is 𝗕𝗬𝗟𝗡. Now, this is interesting. We waited for this entry. I think I've been talking about this 𝗕𝗬𝗟𝗡 position since probably the 18th of October. I think we were talking about this entry down here. So we finally got it yesterday in that capitulation on these altcoins. We finally hit our 504 region. So I grabbed some 𝗕𝗬𝗟𝗡, and then I've been adding to this thing. So my average entry on 𝗕𝗬𝗟𝗡 is 517, and you can see I've highlighted this red line for you over here, and there's the anchored VWAP, and there's the trend. So for me, don't really want to lose that zone. Okay, I really want to hold that area. I really want to send this thing higher, and for me, the game plan on 𝗕𝗬𝗟𝗡 was to pick up this action over here in the 505 zone. Then we wanted to see how we reacted at these resistance bands, and then the plan here for me is if we get a strong push now out of Bitcoin, you get a strong push for these alts, this is going to be your re-add zone. This is where you send it to Valhalla. This is where you really make the money, when you break these big levels, and then you can add on these types of retests. So I'm hoping either Injective or 𝗕𝗬𝗟𝗡 or one of these that I snagged some great entries in, I'm hoping one of them now rips for us. Then we can start adding to this thing and growing it. But if you are trading 𝗕𝗬𝗟𝗡, if we look at this objectively, we can see rejection zone, TP zone, de-risk zone. So just remember the rules here, guys, what you are looking for. And yeah, if you're looking for bigger things, you may get round tripped a couple of times. If you're looking for small little moves, this is a TP zone right here for 𝗕𝗬𝗟𝗡. Okay, you've made yourself a little move by catching that bottom. Let's just look at the size of that. If you grab that bottom there from this chart, I mean, you had a 10% pump. So if you're trading 10x leverage, you made 100%, and there, that's that. So for me, let's see if we get some continuation here. I'd like to see if we break that trend. Then things start turning super spicy for us. Then they get really exciting. Okay, let's cover Phantom for you guys. And we got to cover WIF as well. I mean, this was such a banger. And we had 𝗬𝗓𝗡𝗏 telling us, MDX 𝗬𝗓𝗡𝗏 here at the bottom yesterday, a couple of reasons telling us why we were going to get that reversal. Look at that. The last time we had that green box, they sent it. Okay, here we go. We had our green box. So we're looking for a degree of sendage on WIF at the moment. And I'm obviously going to hold this one a little bit longer. So key support for WIF traders is the big action zone, 2.35. You can see that wick into that zone, 2.35. That's your hot zone that you are watching at the moment. And right now, no action for me on this trade until we start breaking new levels. I want to see us start pushing through this type of zone. When we start breaking that trend, we're going to add to this WIF position, and then we're going to send it. So if you look at this from this perspective on the 4 hour, we are at resistance, anchored VWAP, trend, horizontals. There's a lot going on here for us. WIF at 2.57, it's big resistance for us. This is where we're exercising a bit of caution. If we do get a drop lower, big support for me, 2.35. And then 𝗬𝗓𝗡𝗏 does tell us we are trending up for now. Okay, so we do want to see another push here on WIF as long as we are holding that 2.35 zone. That is a big zone for me. Okay, then I've got Phantom for you guys. And this was a request from you yesterday. One of you guys were in the comments asking for Phantom, and we delivered it. Remember, if you drop your tokens after the show in the comments, then we can look at it the next day for you. So when the show is done, go to the comments, drop the token you want. Nate tells me, I sort it out. And guys, don't forget, subscribe to the channel. Do yourself a favor. Be a subscriber here on Banter Plus. Let's see what else we got here. Jan says 74K Bitcoin, unless Israel plans to take out Iran's nukes, is legit, then maybe 53. Yeah, I agree. 53, capitulation wick, send everybody to 0, and then pump it back up. That makes sense to me. And Matty wants Kamala to get invalidated. Okay, let's talk Phantom quickly. So we snagged a nice little entry on Phantom, but the reality of the matter is this thing has been bullish for a long time. This thing remained bullish while a lot of the other tokens were falling over. Phantom stayed up there like 𝗬𝗎𝗓𝗏. It was quite a good performer. And now Phantom, you can see we've finally lost this rising trend. So from this perspective, it's looking a little bit bearish. Okay, not a good look here for Phantom. And we hit our 0.666. Look at that reaction. Bang. Perfect little entry there on Phantom. But what I can say now is this thing, it's a little bit dangerous here. It could be a bad little picture. So any type of retest here. Hello, sir.
𝗙𝗓𝗔𝗙 is fire.
Banger, bro. Banger. So anything like that looks like it's potentially on the table here on Phantom. Okay, look at that. So potential bear vibes here. So 0.666, watch that area. You are now at major resistance. So if you're trading Phantom, remember, big resistance zone. This is where you want to de-risk. This is where you're looking to take something off the table, and you can see why. 0.71 danger zone here for me. When do we turn bullish again? When we start ripping through these types of regions. Okay, when we start popping back into these horizontals. Okay, when maybe we rejected that 74 zone, that for me turns Phantom super bearish again. But right now we just need to just be a little bit careful. And remember, the signs were there. We looked at this yesterday, a little double top, and was potentially falling over. So invalidation is like arriving at destination flight. Yes, it's guys, we just call it what it is. You know, I don't know why we need to use fancy words. We literally, we fucked it up. We lost money. Move on. Okay, it's simple like that. Okay, guys, I've given you all my stuff. Okay, you've got everything. And there's Ray, there's Chaos, and yes, Khalid, my pleasure. He says thanks for the injective position. Pleasure. Okay, guys, thanks for hanging with me. Double likes bounces today. Thanks. Legends.
People know the rules though, right? Did you let them know? Step 1, watch the show. Step 2, follow the trades with risk management. Step 3, make profit and join Sniper Club.
Correct.
Yep.
It's all going down. Even Ray hangs out in Sniper Club, guys. Come on. Come and hang with us. Okay, guys, thank you. That's everything from me. Tomorrow, same time, same situation, up or down. I'm here every day, and we're going to bang out these setups and POPCAT. Go. POPCAT, go. See you guys later.
Dude, I got sore rinsed. That's why I was late. Fucking black.